story comes out this last week. It could have been 2 weeks ago, about a story of OJ Simpson, a guy named John Denton. I don't know if you saw this or not. Police
John
witness.
Denton? No.
He says a key witness claims OJ hired Gambino family to kill his wife. Do you know anything about the story or not?
That's absurd. God.
Okay, so this one you don't know about.
Any real legitimate guy would have been amused by that.
Okay.
Come on.
And the other story, John Alite. What's your relationship with him?
I haven't seen John Alite since 1991. I haven't seen that guy since 1991. I haven't seen him. Okay, he professed to be my right-hand man. I don't want to tell you the reality of who he is and what he is. I don't want to do that because he lost a daughter recently, and to me, I know even he. I knew his wife. I knew his wife's got to be someplace mourning right now. I know she has to be. I know that. She was a pretty good person. And I know even he has to be mourning someplace right now. So I'm not going to tell you the reality. Maybe at some other point, maybe at some other date. But to me to sit here now, one thing I will never do, I never kick somebody when they're hurting. I won't do that. I won't do that. And I saw what happened to my mother. I saw what happened to my father when they lost Frankie Boy, my brother. I saw, and I know they have to be feeling the same way. So I will not kick them. I won't do that. I will never kick her. I won't kick him. I won't address it, and I won't elaborate. I won't go any further on that. But just now to get off that subject onto a different subject, again, the tactic employed by the United States government and the things they've done to me. Okay, look, I'm bitter. I hate them. I don't hate any of the cooperators that went against me. I don't hate any of them. I won. They got to look in the mirror. They know what they did, and it was a futile attempt.
You hate them? You hate the U.S. government?
I'm going to get there. It was a futile attempt on their part. I won. I'm home. Christmas. I'll be home tomorrow putting up my tree with my wife, okay? I'll be home, okay? They got to look in the mirror knowing what they did. I survived them. I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at the United States government for the absolution and the deals that they've made with these lowlifes, knowing exactly what they were, exactly what they were going to do. They knew it. They knew the ramifications of their actions, what were going to happen, and still brought these people against me, freed these individuals to go on and commit a whole host of more crimes thereafter, and the whole time doing what they did to my family, tormenting my mother, tormenting my wife, my siblings, subpoenaing my best friends, economically destroyed me completely and totally. They had the balls because of a meeting that we had with the United States government in 2005, a 40-minute meeting. They knew the tact I employed there. They knew exactly. I'm going to ask you a question. You interviewed Gravano, right? Okay. When you interviewed Gravano, did Gravano tell you how he became a rat?
No.
Well, one thing I know he definitely didn't tell you. He didn't say that when he decided to become a rat, that next day, he met with John Gotti, he met with Frank Licasio, and some other powerful figures in organized crime, and he told them that, look, guys, I'm going to go in tomorrow and do a proffer, and I want to become a government cooperator. Wish me luck. And they all hit him on the back and told him, good luck, I hope it works out for you. I don't think that happened, right? You don't think that happened, right?
No.
Okay.
But I also don't think he thinks he was a rat in his eyes.
Oh, God. Well,
I guess he doesn't because
I guess the 70 families he destroyed, 57 people he put in jail, 70 people he destroyed. I guess the women that were widowed, basically in essence, for life had empty beds and their children on Christmas and holidays with no father and so on. He didn't do any of that stuff. But here's my point that I'm getting at. It's interesting for you, Pat, because the government called me a rat. The government called me a rat. The most tried man in the history of America. No man, no accused organized crime member was ever tried more than me. Look it up. Find those statistics. Got a great technology guy right here, technologist right here. Look it up. See, I've been indicted in my life 9 times. I went to trial 8 times. Never lost a trial. I went to prison 1 time because I pled guilty. But in 37 months from stop to start, I was indicted 5 times, 5 federal proceedings. From the beginning to the end, culminating with me facing the death penalty, which the government, when I won the motion and we moved from Pinellas County, Florida to New York, they opted not to charge me, and I dared them to pursue the death charge because they had to give me a free defense. They would have had to give me a $2 million budget to defend myself. I dared them to charge me with the death penalty. They dropped it. And I was broke at that point. So my lawyers had to work on oil and gas. I had to keep things moving, and I had to pay those bills eventually. But still, we remedied the case, but yet they had the audacity, because of a 40-minute meeting that I had with them, that according to their cooperators, now think about this for a second, I told you, Sammy Gravano never went to all these different personalities and told these personalities that I'm thinking about going and becoming a cooperator, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be debriefed tomorrow. Wish me luck, guys, right? Well, I did that meeting. I did a meeting for 40 minutes. Took 2 attorneys with me, 2 attorneys.
When you met with the Fed.
Feds.
And that's where...
An agent.
Right.
An agent and a prosecutor and an assistant prosecutor at the courthouse. I went to that meeting. I called for that meeting. I did it. I orchestrated it. Not my lawyers, not them. I did it. I said, I want to meet with them. My lawyer said to me, what do you want to do? You just make the meeting. You just make the meeting. They says, no, John, please. You just make, I pay you, you don't pay me. Make the meeting. I know what I'm doing here. I got this. Don't worry about it. I said, John, if you're going to become a rat, please let me know so I can get out of here. Listen, just make the meeting. I got this. Okay? Now, according to 3 different cooperators, 2 mainly testified against me, and a 3rd cooperator that never testified against me, but he was the most powerful of all the cooperators. Okay? They all said that this is what happened. Before I went in, they said I had a meeting, a clandestine meeting in prison with Vinnie Gorgeous Basciano. They accused him of being the acting boss of the Bonanno family. Really good man, solid guy. Never knew him on the streets, never met him on the streets. But I met him in prison. And they said while we were in the bullpen together, he and I, that he followed my lead. I hatched a plan that I was going to go in and do what's called an innocence proffer. An innocence proffer, and go in to establish an alibi, and I was going to testify on my own behalf in my trials. And he suggested that he would do it as well. He said to me, I'm going to follow your lead. This is not according to me. This is according to the government cooperators. He referred to me, says, John, I'm going to follow your lead. What you do, I'm going to do. Okay? Now, they also went on to say that before I went in, this was cleared with Vinnie Basciano. They said it, not me. Steve Vittabile. Steve Vittabile is accused of being for 30 years the number 3 guy in the Cavalcanti family in New Jersey. Joe Arcuri, elder statesman, wonderful man, who they claim was on the panel ruling the Gambino crime family. Alphonse Siska, who they accused him of being a high-ranking captain in the Gambino family. Arnold Squitieri, who the government accused of being the acting boss of the Gambino family. And Joe Messina. Now, Joe Messina verified it. Joe Messina, again, he was confessed boss of the Bonanno family, ultimately flipped. I loved Joe like an uncle. He made my cake when I went away to military school when I was 14 years old for me. He owned a bakery. His family, I knew his family very well. His wife, wonderful person. I knew his daughters. They were a beautiful family. But yet, this is the government cooperators saying, I sent these messages, and they all had different input. Vittabile supported it. Arcuri supported it. Basciano was on board and doing it with me, according to government cooperators. Arnold Squitieri did not support it. Alphonse Siska did not support it. Joe Messina at first had reservations, sent a message back to me, which he did. He sent a lawyer to see me, and the lawyer would verify it. The lawyer was, tell him, I love him. He's going to be perceived as a rat. My response back was, go back and tell Joe, I love him right back. I'm a civilian. I had my father put me on the shelf, okay? I'm a civilian. I march to the beat of my own drum. I'm showing respect for my father's life. I'm showing respect for people that I adore, that I love. I'm giving them that respect, but I don't have to. I could fight as a civilian. Long as nobody gets hurt, long as not one person gets a subpoena as a result of anything I do, long as not one person, if a person got indicted for something I said in my life, I would kill myself. I would rather do 100 years in prison if I destroyed a family like these rats destroyed my family or tried to destroy my family, okay? I would do 100 years in prison for that would happen. So I told him, my answer to Joe Messina was this. Joe, he was like an uncle to me. Joe, I'm a civilian. I'm not sure if my Uncle Pete clued you in or anybody else, but the chief put me on the shelf for life as per my request in 1999. As per my request, my chief put me on the shelf for life. I could defend myself any way I see fit. long as nobody gets hurt by anything I say or do inside or outside of the courtroom, okay? But there's more to this, I said. But understand this. I will never, ever embarrass my father. I know I'll beat these people. I know how to beat these people. I'm going to fight this my way and only my way. So, as a result of that meeting, here's what happens. They crafted a 302. And I'm sure Gravano told you he has 302s, right? Any other cooperative, you craft 302s. In Gravano's case, there's hundreds and hundreds of them, okay? In any of these cooperatives, there's hundreds and hundreds of them, okay? In mine, I think there's 4 pages. I memorialized it for you. Yeah, you guys have an Elmo?
Oh, no, we don't.
I'm dating
myself. We'll take a picture and show it. I know what an Elmo is.
An Elmo is
we like Elmos.
An Elmo is something that you have in court, you give an exhibit, okay? This is the lead page of that 302. So this should dictate, you read a book. The start better be very good, or you're not going to read the rest of it, and the ending better finish really well, or you're going to reflect back and say, I didn't really enjoy that book at all, okay? Right? Okay. So let's just go with the start of the book, and any other questions you could ask me in between, I can answer them right now. I'm prepared to answer them on the spot, because I did tell David Gallard to make sure, tell Patrick, please, I know he's a very thorough interviewer, research me carefully, ask me any question. I've got nothing to hide. As long as it's a question he's going to ask me doesn't affect anybody else but me, doesn't hurt anybody else but me, ask me anything you want to ask me. I will answer it, and I will answer it to the best of my ability, okay?
You're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you this, but the last 13 and a half years, I've been working on my first fiction book to write, ever. Fiction book to write. And while I finished this book, a year ago, I got the strangest phone call about one of the characters in the book where the guy wanted to meet with me, and he read the book. And afterwards, it's like, wait a minute, am I the villain in the book? This is a story about a character named Asher, who is half Armenian, half Assyrian, whose father was involved in the Iranian Revolution, linked to Savak, working with the Shah, that they escape and he gets recruited to a secret society. When you go to the secret society, it's been around for a couple thousand years. They've developed some of the craziest leaders of all time. And they test you. There's unique tests that they have at the society where they test to see your emotional mental toughness. One of the tests that they have is very rigorous. It's purely mental. Of course, there's a physical one, but one is mental and emotional. If you're Armenian, if you're Syrian, if you're Persian, this is a book you're going to be reading and saying, holy moly, this is the kind of stuff you talk about in here? Yes. If you're somebody that's fascinated by history, this is a book for you. Characters. There's a technology that this society, secret society, builds where you go into a vault. I won't spoil it for you. When you go down, they have a technology where you get to sit down and watch and have a 3-4 hour conversation with Tupac. You can set up a debate between Karl Marx and Ayn Rand. Karl Marx is in the book, who wrote Communist Manifesto. Ayn Rand, who wrote Atlas Shrugged, is in the book. Marilyn Monroe explains the concept of seduction and sex in the book. When you read the book, it's about development of the next leaders in the world and how they do it and how they've been doing it for many years. And it's also about how to prevent the end of civilization and how this organization goes about doing it. So, I've never written a parenting book before, but if I ever wrote a parenting book, this is the closest thing to it because it's all mindset, a lot of crazy stories. Again, 13 and a half years. Trust me, I told myself I will not publish this book until I sell my insurance company and I'm fully disconnected from it, where it's no longer my responsibility 100%. When you read this, if you're a creative person, if you like fiction books, if you enjoyed Atlas Shrugged, or if you enjoy Divergent, if you like books like that, I think you're gonna enjoy reading this book. It's the creative side. Business books is very easy. Here's how you do it. Here's how this how it works. This is very creative. If you haven't placed the order yet, now you can order it on Simon & Schuster, Amazon. I'm gonna put the link up below somewhere here, maybe even in my profile. Go order the book and read it. I've never written a book where I can't wait to read your reviews to see what you think about this book. So I'm going on this wild journey and we have some plans with this book here. If you support the things that I work on, I would appreciate you going and reading the book, order the book on Amazon, and then post a review. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.